Become interested in your partner's interest. Now, the title of this lesson says it all. However, let me clarify a few things. How many couples do you know where the wife has one interest and the husband has another, and yet they never share their interests? For example, the husband enjoys carpentry, the wife enjoys writing short stories, and they're always busy with their own interests, spending their spare time involved in these rather than doing something together that's going to improve their marriage. First of all, it's highly unlikely that any two people will have the same interest. And if they did, I would venture to say that this would most probably lead to regular conflicts rather than closeness. Yes, the two of you should do a lot of things together, such as go for walks, see a movie, but you also need private time and space to pursue your own individual interests. You don't have to share in them, but you should know about them and have an insight as to what your partner enjoys about their interest. You should be able to have an intellectually stimulating discussion about the interest when the partner initiates a conversation about it. Let me clarify that a bit more. Once again, it's a stereotypical example, but I need to get it across simply. Assume that your wife is an avid reader and she enjoys her romance novels. You, on the other hand, are a typical human into your sports and going out with the guys. You've learned to already follow some of the exercises in this video course, so you're a little bit closer than you were before. I'm talking to the guys now. However, you see no reason to read your wife's romantic novels as you're not into female romance novels. Now, think about the times that your wife has been glued to a book and told you she really enjoyed it. Doesn't it make you curious what she enjoyed in the book? Maybe the hero of the novel, in her mind, is the ideal romantic. By you reading this book, you could pick up some ideas that for some other reason your wife has never told you about. Think about it. I'm not suggesting that you should read every romance novel she touches, just the occasional one. But you see, by not showing an interest or not just digging a bit deeper, you never really get to know what makes your partner tick. See, now on the subject of reading, have both of you ever read the same book? And then, after that, actually have a follow-up discussion about it. This exercise applies to books that interest both of you. Reading a novel is a personal and private experience, which is most probably impossible to share unless one of you reads the book out aloud. So the next time you both read a book, get your partner to underline points of interest, which are important to them. Could be a motivational book, a business book. You can even use a highlighter for this. Your wife can have one color pink and you can have one color blue. When you read the book afterwards, you'll see that these underlined and highlighted sections may even have some comments added. Now you can either relate to them or question your spouse as to why they underlined certain sections. And you can question this. And now once we've both read the book, you can sit down and discuss it. And you can even see where you similarly underlined sections and found them important, where you didn't, and really have a good discussion. Like this, you get to understand each other's minds and way of thinking. You see, if you talk about the various sections you underlined and the reasons for doing so, what you enjoyed, what you disliked, you're going to need time together to do this. But eventually, if you initially only start by reading a few pages per day, it's going to be a mutually learned experience. And this is especially insightful with spiritual growth and self-help books. Even this course, where I've said to you, discuss the video lessons, the book that comes with the course, you can go through it as well. But just discussing the video lessons with each other, what do you find important, what not important? That's all about opening up and getting to know each other a lot more. Sit with your partner, give your reasons for the various highlighted sections of the book you're reading. And as you both do this in turn, you're going to become very much more aware of further personal characteristics and interests that your partner may have. And this is, at the end of the day, the whole purpose of being in a relationship is to grow closer together and understand each other at a deeper, more intimate level. Now let's return to the topic of both of you having different hobbies. I have an acquaintance whose wife started knitting, and he was into carpentry and do-it-yourself. They sat down one night, discussed their two interests, and the husband then started learning how the knitting machine operated and what it was all capable of doing. He went out, priced wool at various shops, while the wife carried on with her jerseys. They then started taking orders from the neighbors, friends and relatives who advertised through word of mouth. He started using his do-it-yourself knowledge to build extra rooms onto the house, made work desks, tops, etc. as the business grew. Now, I've lost count, but between the two of them, by showing an interest in what one partner was doing, they now have a massive home business and are thinking of moving into industrial premises. They helped each other. Before they did this, they had their own jobs, working 9 to 5, came home at night, sorted out the kids, and basically lived past one another. It was only once they became involved in each other's hobbies that they could sit down and discuss the possibilities of one of them leaving their humdrum job and try it on their own, while the other carried on working until their new business venture became established. Not only has this brought them closer together as a couple, but they built up a great financial business together and gained financial satisfaction out of it as well. During all of this, she has shown an interest in his carpentry skills, and he has enjoyed making all the furnishings to help build up the company. She got him to build her kitchen cupboards, the design, the layout of which they worked on together. She held up the planks, handed him the nails, the screws, while he did the job. Again, by both showing an interest in each other's hobbies, they have gained so much. Comparing their views and relationship to one another is noticeably different today. When I see them these days, I see two people who really know each other. And this is only one example. And granted, you may have totally opposite interests that don't relate to this example. You may hate your spouse's hobby and cannot see any attraction in it. But if this is the case, then I ask you to seriously consider whether you have spent the time finding out from your partner what exactly is their attraction to their hobby. Furthermore, have you ever taken part in this interest with them? You have to learn to understand your spouse and what makes them tick. Find out what it is that excites your partner about their hobby. And as long as each of you takes the time to find out what the attraction is and have the patience and time to appreciate it, you'll both become far more tolerant and understanding about each other's interests. And once again, this will add to the totality of becoming a better partner. The husband painted as a hobby and wanted to paint a nude portrait of his wife. As he painted, the attraction that he felt for her finally became irresistible. He threw down his palette, took her in his arms and kissed her. She pushed him away. "Maybe your other models have let you kiss them," she said. "I've never tried to kiss a model before," he swore. "Really?" she said, softening. "How many models have there been?" He said, 4. A jug, 2 apples and a vase. I know, I've got to end the lesson with some kind of silly gag. Go, practice this, and then I'll see you again for the next lesson.